I want to do this message for those of you who feel like you've been muzzled. You feel like you can't speak out and say what you want to say because you have a fear of rejection, particularly a fear of man. There's this thing that tries to govern you, that tries to shut your mouth whenever somebody says something wrong to you, and you just kind of shrivel up, you shrink, you get all afraid because you think, if I clap back or if I say something back, they might not like me anymore. This word is for you. There is a way to confront somebody in love. There is a way to confront somebody in gentleness. There's something that I had to learn and I'm still learning today. Like when somebody come at me sideways or say something in a way that does not align with my character or doesn't align with how I receive love or receive information, sometimes I have to put people in their place in a loving way. Sometimes I have to speak up for myself, speak up for myself. And I want to encourage you to speak up for yourself whenever somebody confronts you or does something. Maybe you're at work and you got people who they said some things about you that they should have never said, or they're saying that you haven't completed certain things, or maybe you're at home and you got family members who are constantly nagging and saying things that is not true. You got to speak up for yourself. You got to stick up for yourself. This is why you have a voice. This is why you have a mouth. God has given you a voice. He's given you a mouth to use it and to speak it. Um, but remember this though: death and life is in the power of the tongue. Your tongue could either build people up or tear people down. But the point of this message is whenever you confront people trying to tear you down with their mouth, you have to speak up for yourself. No more staying quiet. No more trying to keep the peace. There is a healthy way of having a conversation that would either promote peace. There is a way to have healthy confrontation. But I believe that there are many people who have a fear of man, a fear of rejection, a fear that if they speak up for themselves, people are going to feel some type of way. Let them. It is not your job to come to conclusions on how they're going to feel or how they're going to receive what you had to say when you speak up for yourself. That's not your job. Your job is to speak up for yourself regardless of how they receive it or not. And remember, you're speaking up for yourself because someone treated you in a way that did not align with how you want to be treated. So if somebody calls you out of your name, somebody lies on you, somebody says something to you about a particular task that you know you did, but they're saying that you didn't, speak up for yourself. It's nothing wrong with you speaking up for yourself. Have the courage to speak up for yourself. Have the boldness to speak up for yourself. I'm being reminded of Jesus when he was on trial, getting ready to be crucified by under Pontius Pilate. There were some things that they were saying and accusing the Son of Man, the Son of God of. They were accusing him of doing certain things. And there was a time when Pontius Pilate would ask and say, Jesus, did you do this? And there were times when Jesus would speak up for himself and say, I am what you say I am. But there were times when Pontius Pilate would question him, or one of the authorities would question him. He would remain silent. He wouldn't even respond, which goes to show you there are times when you don't need to respond as well. Sometimes you do need to remain quiet, especially when it comes to things that doesn't bring value and it doesn't really affect you. When it comes to people talking about your character, about who you are, I believe you have the right to speak up for yourself. Like sometimes you need to clear up your name. Sometimes. And I think you should use wisdom on that. But when it comes to things that don't really matter, that don't have weight, like if somebody is saying like, "Oh, Mark, you like chocolate chip cookies and you eat them every day," and I know that's a lie, I don't need to respond about that. But if they saying like, "Mark, I saw you say this about someone," or "Mark, you're known as a backstabber and everybody blah 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 in the workplace," no, bro, you, I might have to speak up for myself. Like, these are just examples. I believe that many of us need to grow in our boldness and our courage to defend ourselves when it's necessary. Because it's not always necessary, but when it is necessary, speak up for yourself. You don't need to remain quiet. You don't need to put a muzzle on your mouth. I'm praying that the Lord would give you a courage, that you would come out of this fear of man, this fear of rejection, this fear of thinking that something's bad's gonna happen to me if I speak up for myself. Ain't nothing bad gonna happen to you. You have a mouth, use it. You have a mouth, use it. Don't let people treat you any type of way without you speaking up for yourself. Don't let people call you out of your name. Don't let people say things that that you used to let slide because you wanted to keep the peace. Speak up for yourself. I hope this was helpful. If this was helpful, make sure you like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you're watching for the first time. I just had a quick word that I want to share with you guys. Again, I'm really encouraging you to just speak up for yourself. That's it. That's the word of the day. No longer remaining silent. Speak up and speak out.